Hey everybody, Mike Slifer here in the First Alert Forecast Center. Thanks for joining us, streaming live for this First Alert Weather Extra. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to chat about shower chances tomorrow. Of course, Labor Day weekend, top of mind for everybody. Some of the temperature statistics and precip statistics for the month of August, and a look ahead not only to September, but meteorological fall, which runs from September 1st through November 30th. So let's jump right into it. A lot to cover here. We'll begin with the Hartford area almanac today. 45 degrees was the low temperature for the Hartford area as measured at Bradley International Airport. The record, 43. We were only 2 degrees above that. Unseasonably cool out there this morning, but a nice recovery to 77 degrees this afternoon. We are not expecting things to be quite that cool tonight. Mid and upper 50s across northwestern Connecticut and into western sections of Hartford County, where there's still a little bit more terrain. And then we'll start to see more low 60s in the greater Hartford area, especially through the Hartford Metro, with mid and upper 50s throughout the quiet corner. So your first alert that it's not going to be quite as cool as it's been, certainly much more seasonable. Shoreline temperatures will be in the 60s. Jewett City, Salem, Colchester, 59, and we'll see lower 60s basically through southern and southwestern Connecticut. Might even see some mid 60s as you approach some of the more, say, metro areas of New Haven, the Bridgeport metro area, and points southwest along the 95 corridor. And the reason for that, one of the reasons for that, is because dew points are up just a bit compared to yesterday. We had some very dry air in place yesterday. That very dry air can very efficiently lose its heat at night, meaning it cools down very quickly. At the same time, dry air gets heated more easily. The little increase in dew point that we've seen here is not really leading to much of a tangible difference, but it is just a little bit stickier along the shoreline than it was last night. Dew points in the low 60s back into that muggy range, and this is all out ahead of an approaching cold front. We certainly don't see anything too impressive across the Northeast when it comes to dew points, but they are lower to our west, and we will eventually see that drier air settle back in as we get into the weekend. Now, over the last 6 hours, we've been tracking showers in parts of New York and Pennsylvania. Those are making their way closer to us. Throughout the course of the week, we had talked a bit about some uncertainty surrounding the timing of the cold front, and now we know that it is going to arrive during the day tomorrow. First Alert Live radar is scanning clear and dry right now. Nothing to track within our state's borders yet, but that could change overnight. First Alert Futurecast has been hinting at maybe some isolated development, especially around dawn tomorrow. Clouds will be on the increase. Mostly cloudy skies expected. Temperatures up a bit, like we mentioned, compared to yesterday and compared to this morning. And here are the isolated showers popping up. We can't rule out a rumble of thunder. And once we get into, say, the late morning, early afternoon, a lot of that development could favor eastern parts of the state. So your first alert in eastern Connecticut that perhaps this will be a little bit of a bigger issue for you. But even then, we're still expecting this to all be very isolated, clearing up by late tomorrow evening. And that's what sets the stage for our holiday weekend. Rain totals for the green area is about a half inch or so. And the coverage is going to be rather sporadic, rather splotchy. When these showers develop, it's tough to pinpoint exactly where they will be. We can always talk about sort of a generic area, but it's underneath those downpours, especially if there are repeated instances of some more moderate showers where we could see a half inch of rain. But it's certainly areas along and east of I-91, western parts of the state, unlikely to see much outside of maybe just some isolated light shower activity. That also means that we get maybe a little bit of relief from the ragweed and grasses in the air tomorrow. Pollen counts more moderate, climbing a little bit Saturday and then even higher by Sunday. Thursday is an important day for us because it's when we get the updated drought monitor. Looking at the state of Connecticut, not anything significant when it comes to changes compared to last week, but perhaps what's more of note is what happened beyond our borders. Northern Massachusetts now in a moderate drought. And it's certainly possible that since we only have one chance at isolated showers over the next 7 days, we might see this grow a little bit. Although, maybe as we get into the month of September, that could change. More on that in just a moment. Let us talk a little bit about those rainfall deficits right now. 1.41 inch deficit for the Hartford area month to date. We still have a surplus if we go back to the start of the year. Bridgeport, that's not the case. In fact, Bridgeport's deficit has been ongoing all year long, now approaching 12 inches since the start of 2025. That's down 12 inches compared to normal. So we certainly could use some rain. There isn't too much in the cards, and this plays into what has been a cool and dry month for us. As a matter of fact, currently the average temperature for the month of August for the Hartford area is 70.3 degrees. And this is interesting because we have had 20 months in a row where the average temperature of the month has been above normal. But August is running below normal right now. There are only 3 days left, and we're not forecasting any extreme heat. So it's pretty much a done deal that August will finish below normal. The last time that happened was all the way back in November of 2023. So we certainly had quite the stretch of warmer months, and those have come to an end. We'll have to see how September shakes out, and we'll know that about a month from right now. Here's a live look on our iCam in Torrington right now. The Naugatuck River there, pretty quiet, running through the center of the city. Really not much to chat about. Pretty quiet night across the state. We'll take you live right now to Middletown. Roads are dry. We're looking at DeKoven Drive and Route 9, and we can actually see some of that light being reflected off some of those lower clouds that are building in. Here's a live look on our iCam in Rocky Hill, looking north to the Hartford skyline. And it's tough to see any stars back there because the clouds have started to move in. And a live look at our iCam here in Old Saybrook, maybe a couple more stars out there along the shoreline currently. But there will be more in the way of cloudiness as the night goes on. Temperatures all across the Northeast are in the 50s and 60s. We are in the 60s, but New York City and points southwest along the 95 corridor are actually still in the 70s. Locally, we're talking mid and upper 60s throughout most of the state. New Haven is the warm spot at 73. Bridgeport is 72 right now. Temperatures are up anywhere from just a couple to almost 10 degrees compared to last night, and we expect temperatures to fall pretty slowly from here on out. Maybe losing a degree or two over the next few hours, settling ultimately in the upper 50s and low 60s throughout most of inland Connecticut. Shoreline towns will likely be in the 60 to 65 degree range. Maybe some isolated showers out there. The greater risk for that will be tomorrow, and we can't rule out a thunderstorm in the mix tomorrow. We are not anticipating severe weather, but since there are a lot of outdoor activities like the fairs in Woodstock and Haddam Neck, we just want to give you the first alert that if you hear thunder, you may need to step inside, let any storm pass you by. Shower chances winding down as we get later into the evening, temperatures falling back into the 60s. So the cold front will be crossing during the day tomorrow. There it is, making its way through, entering northwestern Connecticut around noon, exiting eastern Connecticut around 9 p.m. So sort of a 9-hour window there where it'll be slowly crossing the state. High pressure getting ready to move on in behind it. It's a bit slow to really move out, but still, that will help to ensure dry weather for us into the start of the holiday weekend. And we also have a pretty big event going on Saturday at the Rent. CCSU versus UConn. 2 p.m. kickoff, temperatures around 60 by 9 a.m. up to 70 by 1 p.m. And we'll see plenty of sunshine out there. We'll be in the low and mid 70s as the day goes on. We're not looking at anything when it comes to humidity. Very pleasant feeling over the next several days. Nothing tropical out there. And in the tropics, things are pretty quiet too. There is one wave off the coast of Africa, which has a low chance of becoming named over the next 7 days. So on the First Alert 7-day forecast, we're calling for isolated showers. Looking good on Saturday. We're back in the 40s on Sunday morning. Your first alert to some cool weather. By Monday, Labor Day, 79 degrees. 80 on Tuesday, 81 Wednesday, 79 Thursday. Increasing cloudiness late next week. Shoreline high temperatures will be in the mid and upper 70s over the course of the next 7 days. So only one real chance for showers, and that's tomorrow. But perhaps things will change as we get into the first weekend of September. More on that in just a moment. Speaking of September, Monday is September 1st. Average high for the Hartford area, 81. Average low, 59. But by the end of the month, the average high is 70. Average low is 48. And in a typical September, we see 4.39 inches of rainfall. So it tends to be one of our wetter months. We will see if that holds true this year. The monthly record high for September was 101, happened back on September 2nd of 1953. The monthly record low, 30. That's happened a few times, most recently on September 29th of the year 2000. And the wettest was 14.59 inches of rainfall. It was when 14.59 inches of rain fell back in 1938. And September 1st also leads into the start of meteorological fall, which runs from September 1st through November 30th. So it goes through the entire month of November. Temperature-wise, the outlook favors things to be warmer than average throughout that time period. When it comes to rainfall, could go either way, so we'll be watching that very closely. However, it does look like that time frame will start off a bit cooler than average. These shades of blue indicating the higher likelihood that temperatures will be running a bit below normal. And again, normal, as we mentioned, is falling. So expect things to perhaps be still in the 70s when, at least through the first few days of the month, average high temperatures are in the lower 80s. Now, when it comes to rainfall, shades of green popping up on the September 3rd through 7th time period. So this would bring us to the end of next week into the first weekend of the month. And these shades of green, a bit darker, indicating the higher likelihood that things could actually be wetter than average, perhaps some welcomed rain to the state. And that's why we see increasing cloudiness throughout the week next week, especially on Wednesday and Thursday. But in the meantime, we will be tracking some isolated showers and some rumbles tomorrow. You can join Scott Gagliardi for the next First Alert Weather Extra tomorrow morning right here, streaming live on WFSB Plus and YouTube at 8 a.m. We will have much more for you on the Wax in 20, and Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon will have more for you tonight on Channel 3 at 11. Have a great night, and we'll see you over on the Wax in 20.